That fateful morning, I got into my fish farm. And usually, when I get into the fish farm, the first thing I do is to check in the fish pond to see whether everything is all right. And when I checked in the fish pond, I didn't like what I saw. My heart jumped and goosebumps fell throughout my body. I didn't know what to do. I got confused. I became very sad because that had been the sad reality of fish farming. And that day was the saddest day in my journey. I saw hundreds of fish floating on the surface of the pond, as you can see, indicating that they were dead, whilst others were still struggling in the fish pond. In this video, I'm going to share with you my saddest moment in the fish farming, what really caused that, and how to avoid that. The reason for this video is to share with you because there's a saying that when a frog in front falls into a pit, others behind take caution. You will learn from this and you will avoid that before it happens to you. I've learned my lessons and I'm sharing with you. So please keep watching and subscribe to the channel. My name is Abdulaziz Issa and this is Fako Aquaponics. It was 5th March 2024 when I experienced this. And that was about 6 months after the stock of the fish. And I have 2 fish ponds in the farm, and each one is 1,000 capacity pond. I stock 1,000 in each of them, and as we were growing, even though it is normal to experience mortality 1, 2 a day once a while, and that was what was happening. Before that day, the highest I could remember I experienced was when the predation net trapped about 5 fish and killed them. And that was when they were still fingerlings. So that day, when I experienced that, I became very sad and instantly I became weak. I didn't know what to do. Now, let's go details into what actually happened. Before the D-Day, I noticed that the color of the water changed. Normally, the color of the water is green because of the feces of the fish. It's green. But those days, the water changed into deep brown. So, and because I wasn't experienced enough, I didn't know what was happening. But I also noticed that the water started smelling. We were experiencing unusual smell. And because we are using the recirculating aquatic system, which filters the waste, and that made us not change the water all the time. So I thought, oh, it was normal, and the filtration system could remove whatever dirt that was in there. I've had a video on the filtration system. You can check the link in the description. So we also have aeration system, and the aeration system adds oxygen into the fish pond. Because of that, I believe the addition of oxygen in the pond is also a plus. Unfortunately, the aeration system was not even functioning properly. No, the pump was working alright, but the normal bubbles that usually forms on the surface of the pond when it is working, I wasn't experiencing that. I will turn the aerator, I will set it up alright, but yet even though the bubbles will come, but not as enough as it used to. And I never realized that what I was experiencing was a high ammonia in the fish pond. And high ammonia in fish pond reduces or depletes the oxygen in the fish pond, making the fish to unable to get oxygen. We all know oxygen is life, and even aquatic organism they also need oxygen to dissolve their waters for respiration. So it means that the oxygen in the pond was very low. That was why the fish they were struggling to breathe. And the best to have done at the period was to change the water completely. But because I didn't think so, because of inexperience, and also I didn't have enough water in the farm because we're using a borehole, and the borehole in the during dry season, the water is not enough. So I was pumping it into our reservoir, waiting for the reservoir to get finished before I can drain the water on the pond or feed new water, not knowing that I was causing disaster for myself. And this RAS system and aerated system has even actually helped because the struggle and the change of color took more than a week. So there was a sign that the water needed to be changed, but I did not. So the eve day, the day before this main event, I got to the farm and I realized that fish were gasping for oxygen. They were struggling to breathe, and I even found dead fish in the morning. So I removed them, and I realized that there was something absolutely wrong with the fish pond. So I had to change instantly. So I started draining, and draining the water also takes time because the quantity of the water is huge, and I was in the outlet. So I realized that the outlet alone was not helping. So I connected the pump to also pump it faster. So I drained the water. And when I was draining the water, I didn't even drain all. I got to the stage and I realized that they were weaker. So I added antibiotics. I added salt, all just to release them from strength and to enhance the water. But it was too late. In fact, I drained the water more than halfway, and I thought that very day left the farm at 8 p.m. and I went home very sad because the fish were weak, and you could even just put your in there and remove a fish, which you will never could done. Still. So when I went home, I couldn't even sleep because I knew that there was something wrong with the farm. So the 5th of March, when I got there, 2024, in the morning, I saw what you have seen on the screen. That day alone, I recorded about 464 dead fish. Following day, I recorded another batch of dead. So in short, all the fish in the pond were gone. So when I noticed I'm losing everything, fortunately we bought a new smoker at the then. We just bought a new smoker. So the rest we harvested them and smoked them. This was disastrous. This disaster destroyed the fish. Share that with you. Make sure that when you see change of the color of the water, which is abnormal, the scent, it's the danger. That's why when you're even not using the recycled aquatic system, when you're not using the filtration system, it's good to change your water at least a week. And if you delay at all, within 2 weeks, you should change the water. Using the filtering system, you don't need to constantly change the water. You only have to change when you notice there is abnormalities like experience. So this is the story. As you can see, from experience. Like I said earlier, if one frog falls into a pit, others behind him are watching. So you have to learn lesson from that. Experience is the best teacher. That's why I'm teaching you. Now, apart from this, I also mentioned few things that you need to note that can also cause mortality in your farm. First is overcrowding. That is stocking your fish more than the necessity or more than the capacity of the fish. Also, overfeeding. Overfeeding reduces the quality of your water in the pond. So make sure that you do not overfeed your fish. That is why you should practice the responsible feeding method. I've got a video on the best method of feeding your fish. I'll leave that also in the description. You can check it out. So make sure that you do not overfeed your fish to ensure proper water quality management. Also, make sure that you have filtration system on your farm, especially if you don't have enough water. Always change your water in your fish in your farm. And also try to control cannibalism. Cannibalism is when fish attacks and consume other fish. This is also disastrous in fish farm and it can cause a lot of mortality in your farm. So try to manage that. And thankful I've made a video also on cannibalism. I'll leave that also in the description for you to check it out. So note that ensuring good water quality in your farm is very, very important. Because if you have poor water quality, it can kill all your fish in your farm. If you have found value in this video, please subscribe to the channel and share the video for it to reach more farmers. This will inspire us to give you more education. My name is Abdulaziz Issa once again. This is Ako Aquaponics. Thank you so much for watching.